Most people are trapped by their own minds, shackled by beliefs that were never theirs to begin with. They live each day by the rules someone else wrote for them, playing by limits they didn't choose, and they wonder why wealth seems so far away. But here's the truth: wealth isn't something you get by luck. It's not something the universe hands to a chosen few. It's a byproduct of the way you think, the way you act, the way you train your mind every single day. Your mind is the engine of your life. It's the steering wheel of your results. And if you don't take control of it, if you don't discipline it, then you're letting it run wild like a car with no driver. That's why people stay stuck, because their minds are conditioned to focus on scarcity instead of abundance, to dwell on fear instead of possibility, to see obstacles instead of opportunities. But you can rewire that. You can train your mind to see differently, to think differently, to expect differently. Every moment is an opportunity to redirect your focus, to break free from the old patterns and plant the seeds of wealth in your mind. It's not about positive thinking alone. It's about conditioning your brain to seek solutions instead of problems, to take massive action instead of waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't exist. You create the perfect moment by taking imperfect action now. Wealth begins with a decision to stop playing small, a decision to stop letting fear dictate your choices, a decision to stop waiting for someone else to give you permission. You already have permission. It was given to you the moment you were born. Your birthright is abundance. Your birthright is wealth, but you have to claim it. You have to own it. You have to act like it. Your mind is like a muscle, and if you don't train it for wealth, it will default to scarcity, it will default to fear, it will default to playing it safe. That's why every single day you've got to push your limits. You've got to feed your mind with the right thoughts, the right beliefs, the right vision. You've got to guard it against negativity, against doubt, against the voices that tell you it's not possible. You have to become the gatekeeper of your mind. If a thought doesn't serve you, you don't let it in. If a belief doesn't empower you, you replace it. If a habit doesn't move you closer to your goals, you break it. You have to create a mental environment where wealth becomes inevitable, where it's not a matter of if, but when. It's about daily rituals. It's about waking up and reminding yourself who you are. It's about visualizing your goals so vividly that your brain believes they're already real. It's about taking bold action even when you're scared, especially when you're scared. Fear is a compass. It shows you where you need to go. And if you run toward it instead of away from it, you'll discover that the treasures you seek are hidden behind the fears you're avoiding. You've got to train your mind to embrace uncertainty, to welcome discomfort, because that's where growth happens. That's where breakthroughs happen. That's where wealth is built. Not in the safety of what you know, but in the risk of stepping into what you don't. You've got to get obsessed with learning, with growing, with mastering your craft. You've got to study the people who have achieved what you want, not to copy them, but to model the mindset, the discipline, the commitment. Wealth is a game of mindset, strategy, and execution. And it starts with mindset. The wealthiest people in the world aren't the ones who had the most resources. They're the ones who became resourceful. They're the ones who train their minds to believe in possibility, who turn problems into opportunities, who refuse to accept mediocrity, and you can do the same. Your mind is your most powerful asset. It can build empires or keep you broke. It can make you unstoppable or keep you paralyzed. The choice is yours. The training starts now. The decision is now. Wealth is waiting for you, but only if you decide to claim it. Train your mind, own your destiny. Most people live their entire lives chasing wealth, chasing success, chasing that elusive sense of freedom that seems just beyond their grasp. They wake up every day hoping that something will change, that the opportunities will fall into their lap, that the perfect moment will arrive. But here's the truth: that moment never comes unless you create it. Wealth is not a matter of luck. It's not a matter of external circumstances. It's a matter of mindset. If you don't train your mind to think in a way that aligns with wealth, you will never see it, no matter how hard you work or how many opportunities cross your path. It starts and ends with the mind. The most powerful asset you have isn't your job, your business, or your bank account. It's the 6 inches between your ears. That is the battlefield. That is where the war is won or lost. Think about it. Every wealthy person you know, every success story you've ever heard, they all had to master their mind before they could master their external world. They had to train their thoughts to focus on abundance rather than scarcity, on possibility rather than limitation, on action rather than hesitation. And you can do the same, but it's a choice. It's a decision you make, not just once, but every single day. You decide to program your mind for wealth, or you let the world program it for mediocrity. Because if you don't decide, life will decide for you, and it won't be in your favor. The default setting of the mind is survival. The mind's job is to keep you safe, to keep you from taking risks, to keep you inside your comfort zone. That's why you feel fear when you think about starting that business, when you think about investing, when you think about asking for that promotion. Your brain is wired for survival, not success, but survival is not enough. You were not born just to survive. You were born to thrive, to create, to expand, to live in abundance, but that requires a different mindset. It requires training. Training your mind for wealth is like training your body for a marathon. You don't just decide one day to run 26 miles and then expect it to happen. You train, you condition, you prepare. You feed your body the right fuel. You practice. You push through the pain. And you do the same with your mind. You feed it the right beliefs. You focus on empowering thoughts. You guard it against negativity. You challenge the limiting beliefs that have been running your life, and you replace them with beliefs that serve you. Every single day you repeat this process until it becomes automatic. Let me ask you something. What do you believe about wealth? Do you believe it's hard to make money? Do you believe it takes money to make money? Do you believe rich people are greedy or selfish? Because if you hold any of these beliefs, even unconsciously, you will sabotage yourself. You can work hard, you can take action, but if your beliefs are not aligned with wealth, you will always find a way to lose it. That's why so many people who win the lottery go broke within a few years. They didn't change their mindset, so they couldn't sustain the wealth. You've got to reprogram your beliefs about money. You've got to see it as a tool for freedom, for contribution, for growth. You've got to see wealth as a natural result of adding massive value to the world. Because that's what wealth is. It's the exchange of value. The more value you provide, the more wealth you create. But if you believe money is bad, you will never fully commit to creating it. You'll hold yourself back. You'll find ways to spend it, to lose it, to avoid it. Your beliefs drive your behavior drives your results, and your results reinforce your beliefs. It's a cycle. If you want different results, you must change the cycle at the source, your beliefs. You must train your mind to expect abundance, to see opportunity, to believe that wealth is your birthright, and this isn't about arrogance, this is about certainty. You must become certain that wealth is available to you, that it's possible for you, that you are worthy of it. This is where so many people get stuck. They say they want wealth, but deep down they don't believe they deserve it. Maybe they grew up in a household where money was tight, and they were told, we can't afford that. Maybe they were told rich people are greedy, that money is the root of all evil. Maybe they failed in the past and decided wealth just isn't for them. But those are stories. They are not truths. They are just interpretations, and interpretations can be changed. You have the power to rewrite the story. You have the power to decide what wealth means to you, what you believe about it, and how you will show up for it every single day. You must decide that you are worthy of wealth. You must decide that you can handle it, that you can manage it, that you can multiply it. Because if you don't, you'll push it away, you'll sabotage it, you'll find ways to spend it all, or avoid it, or give it away in ways that don't serve you. Your subconscious beliefs will always override your conscious desires. That's why willpower alone is not enough. You can say affirmations all day long, but if you don't believe them deep down, they won't stick. That's why you must train your mind to believe. This training happens in your daily habits. What are you feeding your mind? What are you watching, listening to, reading? Are you surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, who inspire you, who have achieved what you want? Or are you hanging around with people who complain, who make excuses, who believe wealth is for other people? Your environment matters, your inputs matter, your focus matters. You must condition your mind every single day. That means feeding it empowering beliefs, visualizing your goals, taking action, and constantly stretching beyond your comfort zone. It means studying success, learning from those who have achieved it, modeling their thinking, their habits, their strategies. It means seeing failure not as a stop sign, but as feedback, as fuel to grow. You've got to become obsessed with growth, with learning, with becoming the person who can handle the wealth you desire, because wealth isn't just about the money, it's about who you become in the process. It's about developing the discipline, the resilience, the creativity, the courage to create value in the world. If you want to make $1 million, you have to become a person who can create $1 million worth of value. That's the real game, that's the mindset shift. You can't wait for the economy to improve, for the market to change, for the government to make it easier. That's giving away your power. You've got to take ownership. You've got to train your mind to see opportunity in every challenge, to see possibility in every problem. That's what the wealth builders do. They don't complain about the circumstances. They adapt. They innovate. They pivot. They find a way. Every obstacle is a gift. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. But you've got to believe that. You've got to train your mind to see it that way, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when you're scared. That's how you build mental toughness. That's how you build resilience. That's how you become unstoppable. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant the seeds of wealth, the weeds of scarcity will grow. If you don't nurture your thoughts, they will wither. If you don't protect your mind, the negative influences of the world will take over. You've got to be vigilant. You've got to be intentional. You've got to feed your mind every single day with the right beliefs, the right thoughts, the right vision. It's a lifelong commitment. It's not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It's the way you show up every morning. It's the way you respond to challenges. It's the way you speak to yourself. It's the way you think about your future. The truth is, wealth is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. And the person you become is shaped by the way you think. So train your mind, train it relentlessly. Train it to focus on abundance, to believe in possibility, to expect success, to act with courage, to persist through adversity. Because wealth is not just about money, it's about freedom, it's about impact, it's about living life on your terms, but that starts in the mind. If you don't see yourself as a wealth creator, you'll never become one. If you don't believe you're capable, you'll never take the actions that will make it real. If you don't expect success, you'll settle for less. So make the decision, right here, right now. Decide to train your mind for wealth. Decide to break free from the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. Decide to step into the version of yourself who can create the life you desire. Decide that you are worthy, that you are capable, that you are ready. And then commit to the daily work of becoming that person, because the mind is a powerful tool, but it's also a dangerous weapon if left unchecked. If you don't train it for wealth, it will train itself for scarcity. If you don't program it for success, it will default to fear. If you don't lead it, it will lead you, and it will lead you to mediocrity, but you don't have to accept that. You have the power to choose. You have the power to decide. You have the power to train your mind for wealth, for success, for abundance, and when you do that, everything else follows. Your actions change, your results change, your life changes. So start now. Start where you are. Train your mind every day, feed it, challenge it, stretch it, master it. Because when you master your mind, you master your destiny. So make no mistake, your mind is the gateway to everything you desire. If you want wealth, you must train your mind for it, relentlessly, fiercely, without compromise. You must reject the lies of scarcity, the whispers of fear, the excuses that hold you back. You must choose to believe in your power, your worth, your capacity to create extraordinary value in the world. This is not a game for the faint-hearted. This is the arena of champions. It's for those who dare to see beyond their current reality and step into the life they know they were born to live. The time is now. The decision is yours. Train your mind for wealth and watch as the world bends to the unstoppable force of your belief.